First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you use. And of course, we are live.
Twitch.tv/upnext podcast and youtube.com/upnext.
That's right. 1.4K followers.
Damn.
So on YouTube. So go follow us on YouTube, subscribe.
We're on the road to 2.
We're on the road to 2.
Yeah, we want our very own 2.0.
It's probably like 1,040 instead of like 1,400, but you know.
What's it saying?
It
Oh,
said-
sorry, 1.04.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's
Wow,
not
I
as
was
good.
way off.
That's not as good.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you're
Still, road to 2.
Yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch, the videos stay up. The replay videos are up for those people who maybe watch their computer or whatever, and of course posted on postwrestling.com. We've had quite a few post wrestling shows that we've been appearing on. We will be doing a BD Elite on this feed tomorrow night following Dynamite, so look forward to some Dynamite chat on the road to All Out. But check out Rewind a Raw with myself and John Pollock chatting all about Raw, and then you were just on with Rewind a Dynamite last week, so we were all over, and the invasion is not over.
It's not, no, because the 4 posts of post wrestling are coming together for All Out / Worlds Collide.
Yeah, the worlds will collide. This is the true forbidden door. The signal was up in the sky, and we have received and we have answered, and so has the man called Ting, who will make his triumphant return to a special kind of forbidden door, really, where we will be joining John and Wei from Post Wrestling on the eve of All Out to do a cross show, just chatting about Worlds Collide and All Out in one giant show.
It's going to be a very long day. It's
going to be a long
I just
night.
realized I'm going to be very hungover from my birthday the day before,
Yep.
and then we're going to be talking about a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, and I mean, to make things even worse, we agreed to do a live return of the watch-alongs for Worlds Collide. So everyone, if you're going to be sitting at home during the daytime, checking out all the wrestling on that Sunday, September 4th, well, we got you covered. Come hang out while we watch Worlds Collide, and then we're going to hang out and watch All Out, and then join John and Wei later on YouTube Live, and the audio will be up on the feeds and all that stuff. So crazy big show.
Will be quite a day.
Yeah, big stuff coming with the podcast stuff. So shout out Wei Ting, shout out John Pollock. Can't wait for that. And then, of course, they're doing a show for Clash of the Castle Clash.
On the Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so all good stuff all around. So lots of stuff going around. Quickly, Patreon shows, if you want to check out what we got going on. We've been doing some fun ones. We did ECW Heatwave 98. We did Dunstan Checks In.
Finally, we got there.
Save the orangutans, don't eat Doritos.
Yeah, we had a hell of a National Orangutan Day last week.
Shout out orangutans.
If you haven't listened to that yet, really fun show. Talking all about orangutans and hotels.
Honestly, sometimes when we do these silly movie reviews, they are the best shows we do. We get a lot of messages being like, "Oh, I'm last." So whenever someone says they almost swerve off the road driving from some of the shit we say, that's the biggest compliment. So love the love for that.
Be careful,
show.
guys.
Yeah,
don't swerve a throat.
Yeah, be careful. You might hit an orangutan. You never know. That could be dangerous. And then this week we have another movie planned, but this was a pick from World Champ, our man Neil, who selected a few good men. But some scheduling, we're gonna have to push it back a few days in the future.
Yeah, kind of just with us going to Raw on Monday, that kind of ate up a valuable evening where normally we do some prep, and I know Neil's busy as well, so we're gonna push this one back to next week.
But it will come out.
But that gives us all plenty of time to be watching a whole load of Rey Mysterio as we celebrate 20 years of Rey Mysterio on and off in the WWE. And we're doing a special best match ever, looking at his best WWE matches. We'll be talking about matches with Kurt Angle, with Eddie, with Edge, with I believe there's a John Morrison one in there.
Oh, okay.
Andrade.
Nice.
Yeah, some hidden gems. A lot of TV matches, actually.
Interesting.
Seems to be where he kind of shines the most. So looking forward to that one. We all love a bit of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, so this is just Rey Mysterio in WWE, and I can hear you all going, but, yeah, because we can do another show.
We can do another show, guys.
Down the line. I do think I prefer a lot of his ECW or WCW stuff, but he has some great matches and some hidden gems, and that's kind of what Best Match Ever is, where we find, of course, all the stuff we know we'll be talking about, but finding some other ones. And I know some stuff with Andrade was in there, that feud as well we'll be chatting about. But all the Rey Mysterio, we would love your feedback for best Rey Mysterio WWE matches, and hey, we would love feedback for any moments and stuff like that, because I grew up loving Rey Mysterio. I can't wait to revisit some of these matches and chat all about it. But we're recording that tomorrow, so that'll be out on the Patreon as well. But go check us out. $5 a month, North Americans here. You get access to all these shows and everything in the back catalog and yada, 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 and so forth. But yeah, looking good.
Looking good.
Looking for some shows. I had a show with John Pollock today where we chatted all about Raw. You were at work. I don't know how you made it to work. You were a true hustle.
I did all right. I think our big mistake is often, I think if we're having a night on the town and, boy, John got us fucked up last night. Like, I completely...
He just won't stop.
I completely blame Pollock.
He keeps ordering shots.
Ordering so much Jameson.
Yeah.
Drinking it all night.
He pulls out a giant blunt. We were smoking that.
Yeah,
I don't know what
somehow
was
suddenly I'm wearing heart-shaped glasses, which I'm keeping forever. We're often quite sensed when we're like, hey, we've been drinking, we should eat something, so we feel better in the morning. But then we go on a bit of a tear and binge, and then I just woke up with like the biggest fucking food baby today.
I didn't eat all day until now. Yeah.
But no, I felt all right at work. It wasn't too bad.
Wow.
But yeah, I had so much fun. First WWE event we've been to since SummerSlam. Being there, kind of, when Johnny Gargano comes out.
Yeah, I mean, check out the story. I go into detail on there, but I mean, what's your account? Because basically, I was saying we were in the washroom. Well, I was waiting for you in the washroom, and I was outside, and I'm standing near the curtain of like the show, and I hear the music, and I'm like, oh, it's another one of these camps. I'm like, wait a second, is that? That's no, hold on. So I peek my head through the curtain. I'm like, what the fuck? So I start losing my mind, screaming, and then I'm yelling in you at the corner. You're Russian.
You see me sprint past you.
You're still, I'm like, run, just go. And then we make it in by the time he's like at the entrance ramp, and we're like singing the song.
It was like, I don't know if you've ever woken up when you're late for work.
Yeah.
And you wake up and you look at your phone and say you're meant to start at 9 a.m. and you check your phone and it says like 9:43 and you look at it and you don't right away go, fuck, I'm late. You go, it's 9:43.
Oh, it's Rebel Heart.
I start at 9.
Heart. Yeah, I know the song. Yeah, okay.
Oh!
What the fuck?
And you just, because you hear, like, we heard DX's music play for a commercial, like they did, DX Cam and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're hearing Rebel Heart and you're like,
man.
Wait, hang on, he's not here anymore. Why are they playing that?
And then lost our GD minds.
But yeah, I think actually a great idea having, because they were in Cleveland just a week or two ago.
A few weeks ago, yeah.
Toronto is kind of known for a lot of Gargano's career. I mean, just working like the indie promotions here, he kind of ran Smash for quite a while.
Fourth Gun.
And then had his two big takeover matches here, the 2 Out 3 Falls DIY match with Revival,
which is an all-timer, honestly.
And the kind of, what was it, the final part of the Adam Cole feud, like the 2 Out 3 Falls there.
Yep.
So I think it's a big city for him, and kind of Toronto and Canada being starved for like WWE for so long, they're going to react big to anything. So I kind of feel having Gargano come out in Cleveland, he's going to get a good reaction, but it's hometown. Having him debut elsewhere, it might make people go, oh, who is this guy? He seems like a big deal. Really exciting. You can see Triple H just bring in all his boys back.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Sorry, Double J, but
the
roadie's back.
The roadie's back.
But also, like, why wouldn't you? If you're running a company, you want your guys you trust and you like, and it's pretty cool. And I feel Gargano's just played it perfectly.
He's played his cards right.
Let's not talk too soon, maybe, but he could have signed somewhere right away. maybe been lost in the shuffle. He kind of waited, had his kid, and now like it feels like striking the iron when it's hot. Like coming back now to WWE, I think, which does feel right for him, and with Triple H Papa Trip in charge, I'm really excited. If you've listened to us for a while, you know he's like
one of our guys. Yeah, we've been supporting him for quite a long time, and to kind of finally see that moment and be there for that moment, even made it. And the only way we can is when we're rushing out of the washroom, like what?
But yeah, I really enjoyed Raw. I've listened to like half your show so far, so I don't kind of want to repeat stuff. But yeah, I thought the wrestling was pretty good. I thought it was pretty logical. Like it seems a bit more of a competent show now. One thing is, as like a live viewer, you can't do the commercial break stuff. You know, right. Like you go to an AEW show, you often don't know when it's in a commercial because they're keeping it. You're keeping the crowd entertained. Yeah, you can tell as soon as you go into a commercial break because it's headlock or just. Was it the women's match? They just all walked around. They walked around the outside, literally did nothing.
And I get it. Hey, if no one's watching,
and it brings you right down.
It does.
But no one's watching. You've got a sold out arena of people watching.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And I think it means you come back from commercial and the energy does seem a bit low. Whereas how many times we watch a Dynamite and it comes back from commercial and it's so loud because they've been doing crazy stuff during the commercials. That kind of was my only criticism last night, but I actually thought it was one of the better Raws I've been to.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about it. It's probably one of the most fun I've had at a show because we were sitting with Papa
Your
Pollock, John Pollock, having a crazy time with that wild party animal. But it flowed. It was really good, and like maybe this is the I'm the paint is still fresh. The lipstick on a pig is still new here, but so far so good with whatever they're doing with Triple H running things. But Johnny Gargano and Ciampa on Raw. Yeah. It was only a matter of time before they main event WrestleMania. One last big feud.
I want to see them have the Rumble spot, like 1 and 2 or something like that.
Okay, interesting.
That would be fun.
It's just instantly someone that's pretty fresh, and going forward with maybe the Theory feud, it makes sense. But there's so many dream matchups now. I mean, the probably the most over dramatic match possible is Cody versus Gargano.
Oh yeah,
the overacting in the best possible way in the match would be amazing. Gargano, I know. Obviously, I think Gargano in the interviews and stuff before kind of letting everyone know he was coming back, he did make it seem like some dream matches of his was Omega, and obviously that would be amazing, but there are still so many here now. Seth Rollins, Gargano could be a whole year feud for all
Rollins, Kevin Owens,
there's
Sammy, Gunther.
Wow, yeah, true.
Like, so many fresh matchups that sound great, and I feel you can have that with some of your other talent who we're kind of re-establishing. Like we really enjoyed watching Chad Gable and Owens. And Chad Gable's someone who's been in the mix for quite a while, and finally this last sort of year has been given a bit more and being able to showcase a lot more what he can do. So I'm like quietly optimistic, and I think last night kind of continued that. I stayed and watched SmackDown on Friday, and I actually quite enjoyed myself watching it. Really enjoyed those Sammy and Roman segments. So yeah, WWE may be moving in some good directions.
Hey,
at the moment.
we'll still if we watch Raw every week, we'll definitely give some thoughts, because now it's basically we're watching NXT from just a few years ago when we loved it, when it was our favorite show to watch. So now there's just a lot of these guys on Raw, and that's all right. That's not a bad thing at all. But yeah, good move in the right direction, and we had a pretty wild time at Monday Night Raw. Can't wait for them to come back. We had a lot of wrestling. I did mention on Rewind to Raw as well. We went to Demand Lucha, which was a ton of fun. F.E. Gringo definitely brought the house down. I thought that match was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Demand Lucha when we've gone. The main events especially, I think Gringo Loco, like all three mains we've seen with him, he's really brought it. And
who's the big guy in the mask with the horns? What's Sepphoris?
Sepphoris, yeah.
Something like that. He's like, I don't know who it is. I've never seen him until going to these shows. He's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then we went to Super Kicked, and that was even crazier because we had the House of Black, and those guys, like, they walk and talk the part. Like, they look like superstars and very spooky and very good wrestlers. They had a pretty sweet match as well.
Yeah, and being able to be so up close with it, because
Yeah.
Superkicked is one of these promotions you can go right up to the ring.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
And getting to see, these guys who are pretty big stars on TV, we see every week, right up and close, was really cool.
Yeah, it was all right. So, we'll definitely check it out.
really enjoyed both Superkicked and Demand Lucha.
And then we
really
went to
killing
Raw.
it right now.
And then AEW tickets are on sale soon this week for Toronto. So we're gonna be
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, good luck. We'll be doing Media Elite tomorrow night, and we can chat a bit
Yeah.
more about what's going on in Dynamite, because I'm super stoked with all the stuff leading into All Out. There's a lot of stuff going on. We don't know what some of the matches are. They could pop a pretty big number this week as well, so we'll chat all about that. But follow all our socials for all the wrestling we go to, for all the stuff we post, the shows, and stay in the loop for what we do.
Oh, and shout out Jeff. Thank you for the beer.
Yeah, Jeff at Superkick.
Yeah.
That's right. Shout out Jeff. He got us a nice beer.
But there is some been quite a bit of NXT news in the last week. We kind of felt something was awry a week ago.
Did we pour it out? Did we pour one out prematurely?
I think we had a little pre-drink last week, and then it's been confirmed. NXT UK will be no more after this current set of tapings. Tyler Bate kind of confirming that today. He's the first and last NXT UK champion. A load of releases. I don't have the list quite with me here, but Trent Seven being a pretty big name.
Interesting.
On the cutting block, and basically anyone who we haven't seen make the jump from NXT UK seems to have been gone. And from tonight, I feel we had everyone really, with Charlie Dempsey appearing, Mako Satomura, obviously Gallus, Tyler Bate. We've seen A-Kid and Jordan Devlin already joined. But yeah, it's the end of an era for NXT UK.
Yeah, NXT UK is dead.
But definitely pushing. They made a lot of mentions tonight about NXT Europe, which they're planning to start next year. What do you envision that being? Do you think it's going to be a similar kind of show to NXT UK? Do you think, or something completely different?
Yeah, I see it being a bit like that, where you have stars from just kind of the other side of the world. That's pretty much what they want to call it, but it sounds better with just saying Europe, I guess. But like, they're going to have people from basically the other side, kind of what they've been doing, and maybe plan it out a bit better. I think what they were doing by putting on some good wrestling, if you talk to certain wrestling fans, they like watching that show. Both 2 last years match of the year has been
from that show.
So that's kind of crazy.
From people, it seems to be the British that don't like it, really.
Yeah.
But most people I know who do check it out have been enjoying it. It could benefit being more of like a Europe. It was NXT Europe anyway.
Yeah, it was like Australia, New Zealand.
Like Walter was the champion for a long time. You had
Austria.
Aussies and Kiwis there.
Yeah, it's Japanese, just all the other side of the world. The All-Atlantic.
Yeah. But maybe doing a similar sort of show, but touring a bit more could be cool for it. Doing shows in Germany, you could get a hotter crowd that way, because you're going to markets that are maybe a bit starved of wrestling, and showing a WWE product could be good if it's like doing small venues, similar kind of venues they've been doing, but going all over Europe.
Triple H wanted to take over the world. Remember that thing with the map with NXT this,
global
NXT
localization.
That. Now he's doing it. And I saw some reports that people were saying that maybe some of these wrestlers that were released might come back or something like that. Because Trent Seven is someone who would be a good vet to have. I think.
Realistically, for them as well, what does it serve them being? Apart from a guaranteed paycheck for a few months,
sure.
Like if this is going to be, could be summer next year. They've just said 2023. Wouldn't you rather be just free and be able to work wherever you want?
Yeah. Because I don't want to go through. There was quite a few names, but ones that stick out to me. I loved Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, the team of them. Flash Morgan Webster. If you watch any of his stuff before WWE and then what he looked like after WWE, that guy did not waste this opportunity. He got jacked. He had some pretty sweet matches. Him and Mark Andrews are a sweet tag team. I would like to see them on the indies and do some crazy runs and have different matches and stuff. I think they are a team that would benefit from this, actually. Trent Seven, I think, he could be all right. He could wrestle in some of this other indie stuff obviously going on. I know Wei Ting is devastated that Dave Mastiff was released.
His guy.
Yeah, they're T-Bone. That can't be a real person. That's not a real wrestler.
Tyson T-Bone, yeah.
Oh yeah,
You see him all the time at PCW.
There was a bunch that were released, and I think that it's also kind of a good thing for some of them, like you said, like they can go kind of spread their wings a little bit and maybe come back. Who
And
knows?
reading sort of kind of tweets people put out, and like from what I've heard from certain people who've left the company, it seems like maybe a blessing in disguise, and they seem quite excited about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting time, and obviously leading to some unification matches at Worlds Collide, which was confirmed on tonight's show.
Yeah, we will be getting this. This is the real Forbidden Door.
Oh yeah,
the Worlds Collide, where NXT UK will face NXT in a bunch.
The
of
one
unified.
thing I just think is ridiculous is you've had NXT UK. What the first tournament was 5-6 years ago now.
The UK tournament.
The UK tournament, I think 6 years ago, because I'd already moved here.
Wow.
And you haven't had a stadium show in the UK for 30 years, and then you shut the UK brand down
the same week,
2 fucking weeks
Yeah.
before the show in Cardiff. Like you mentioned,
Flash
Mark
Morgan
Andrews,
Webster.
Flash Morgan Webster. How like they're
from there.
Why would you not just be like, okay, we've got this in 6 months' time, let's bring them to SmackDown. They don't have to beat the Usos, but why not just build them up a little bit, get them on TV a bit, and have Usos against Welsh Subculture, what they were called, Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that? Tegan Knox, someone else
who's from there,
who you can have challenge for a title in Cardiff. You've got a crowd. You saw them do that with like Buddy Murphy when you went to Australia.
Yeah.
We've got one Aussie guy. Maybe we should book him on the show.
Yeah.
Mansoor in Saudi Arabia. It's
Drew McIntyre's Scottish though. They're fine.
yeah. They're like, where's Sheamus from? Ireland. It's close enough. It's
That's
fine.
good. That works.
It's fine.
That's cool. Yeah, it's really odd. The timing of it all is really weird. It's almost like a little like salt in the wound to these guys. Like, yeah, we're all making sure you understand you're not on this big show that's in your country or like neighborhood essentially. It is quite weird.
And you're not going to get staff tickets to it anymore.
Sorry. Yeah,
Please hand in your gun and badge.
We can't let you in. Yeah, sorry. We can't let you in. Yeah, quite interesting. But NXT Europe, I mean, hey, maybe some of these people will come back. Maybe we'll see some new faces. I mean, we got Italian superstars here. I'm waiting for my Portuguese wrestlers. We need Killer Kelly come back.
Yeah. Will we finally get the European title back?
Wow.
Like,
that would
that's
be the
what
world
you should
title.
do.
Yeah, that would be the world title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just bring
NXT,
back the old one. Don't
NXT
revamp it. Just
make it look like that. You could put the NXT thing on
Yeah.
it, but the European Championship, 100%, make that the big title thing.
I want to see more cross promotion as well across all the brands. We definitely, since 2.0's become a thing, you definitely notice more of commentators on NXT talking about Raw and SmackDown and vice versa.
Yeah.
I want to see, once this thing comes off the board, why not have a European Championship match on a random Raw sometimes?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, shall we get into this week's show?
Yes, let's talk about it.
WWE NXT from August 23rd, 2022 at the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. We open with the champion, Bron Breakker, coming out, and he says, "Orlando, where the dog's at?"
And I turned to you right away and said, has he said that before? He should say this every week. It's probably already his new catchphrase.
I'm going to use it whenever I
Where my dog's
go into
at.
any bar or going to work or whatever. I'll be like, "Gabby's, where the dog's at?"
What movie? Is it The Hangover where Zach Galifianakis walks in and goes, "You guys ready to let the dogs out?" It's kind of like that. Where are my dogs at?
I do hate that song, though.
Where,
Who let the dogs out?
yeah. Was it you who tried to explain to me what the true meaning of it is?
Probably not. I don't think so. What is it?
I don't know.
Is it that Urban Dictionary stuff?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
pretty much me telling you to Urban Dictionary.
All right, okay. Bron says that him and JD McDonough had a banger at Heatwave, and he proved to him that he's one of the best. And then Tyler Bate showed up. So let's not waste any time. Tyler Bate, come out so we can talk. So the UK champion, Tyler Bate, comes out congratulating Bron on his win and says that he's been in the ring with JD McDonough before and knows how good he is. And he says, NXT UK has had some of the best there is to offer, and I am the first and last NXT UK champion. So with NXT Europe around the corner, I think it's a good idea to unify these titles.
He pretty much should have just said, hey, we're going to have a match and I'm going to give you this title.
It's like, I either have to throw this away or we can unify it.
They won't release me until I lose this title, so...
Bron says that he's been watching him over the years. He loves his NXT UK.
Name all his matches. Go. What's your favorite song? Name all his matches.
And he says, I do see you as a threat to the championship. And when I think of NXT UK, I think of Tyler Bate. But this is NXT, where some of the greatest superstars in the world are. And Bron agrees there should be one champion. So at Worlds Collide, champion versus champion, title versus title. And they shake hands and both raise their titles to each other.
Classic title v title pose.
So we thought this was where we were going, but just confirms it right off the bat here.
Yeah, I used to love some of the stuff Tyler Bate was doing, and I think this is a match where it could really go hard. Both of them could be a good style. I mean, Braun is big, can throw Tyler, who's a lot smaller, around, but we've seen Tyler in a lot of these matches, Davie versus Goliath, essentially, and that's...
Did you say Davie versus
you
Goliath?
versus Goliath. I feel like it'll be really good. I don't like it. Makes things. It would be way more interesting if Bate won, because then you could go and spiral him off with who knows what and whatever. But obviously, it's Braun. Braun has. We've joked about it recently in that last match last week where he's running out of things to break. So he needs to break NXT UK finally, and he's the one he's going to do it by taking this title. But it would be more interesting if Bate were to become NXT champion.
I think Bate really needs it, whether he wins or not. He needs a killer match, because I think he's someone who's lost so much momentum.
Who?
Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
Think you had him as that first champion. He had that killer match with Pete Dunne at Chicago, which was a lot of people's match of the year.
Yeah, that match was great.
And then
he had a Walter one.
Well, and then he was in NXT for a bit, doing the tag title stuff with Trent
he had
and the Undisputed Era feud and all that sort of stuff. Then we went back to UK, and occasionally his name would pop up, like the Walter match. But that's 2 years ago now. I feel he's someone...
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I feel he's someone that kind of needs a bit of rehab to like reintroduce himself to this audience. And the best way he can do that is by having killer matches. Don't think like a match with Von really does that like tonight.
Sure. But
Braun's been having some good stuff. So I hope they get some time and actually really go out and try and have a classic here.
I think they will. Tyler Bate kind of having a little bit of a resurgence. Again, sounds a bit more exciting than just going forward with Braun, but clearly he's the project. But at the same time, Braun could lose and then just put him up somewhere already, if that's like the case. But yeah, the match should be pretty good. But it is kind of interesting that they instantly are like, and let's get rid of NXT UK, and this is the best way we could do it.
Well, because it's felt like
we can't just
when Apollo Crews came in, you felt, that's probably going to be the next takeover is him.
I'm happy it's not.
Braun.
Yeah.
So it's just we can just do this NXT UK thing.
It's definitely they thought this was the easiest way to get clean. Sweep NXT UK under the rug. Let's just quickly do
it. Makes sense.
Yeah,
why not? Why not do it this way?
That's the best way.
You've got another brand called NXT.
Yeah.
Just merge it.
Yeah, exactly.
Throughout the night, we get a lot of video packages kind of just reminding us who some of these UK talent are. So we start off with a video package for Gallus.
Yes.
In their like nice Sergio Tacchini tracksuit tops and plaid shirts. And,
dude, Wolfgang looks like shit.
Oh,
man.
they all look like shit.
What's he doing? Why you're getting filmed for these things, and you're wearing like a ripped up plaid shirt that like you got like at Valley Village or something. Like it doesn't look like he's a wrestler. He just looks like he's some guy on the street.
None of them. I think that might be the thing. They're going for more that kind of football hooligan kind of vibe.
I don't understand it.
They look awful.
Like,
they do.
Like when it comes to wrestling, they are actually not like that bad. It's just funny to make fun of Gallus. Their name is Gallus. The way they look, though, doesn't help them do any favors.
It is like, at the end of the day, we love watching great wrestling, but there is an aesthetics thing to this business as well. It is show business, right? And just like if you're going out on a date, you you put on some nice clothes. You know,
Yeah.
you're going out on TV, like maybe try
weird.
not to look like Wolfgang.
Yeah, I feel like we're just being so mean to poor Wolfie here, but like, I'm
The
sorry.
other two look shit as well.
They
It's
didn't
not
look
just
that
him.
great. Yeah, and that's why I guess that's why people hate on Gallus a lot. But like, they don't come across menacing. They just look like some guys who get too pissed down the street and they want to try to fight people while people are coming home.
Yeah, they say they never started a fight. They haven't finished. They love to scrap. And NXT, now NXT gets to learn what we beat into the UK. Gallus always on top. So Gallus promising to shut down NXT proper as well.
Yeah, because you know what they always say: when you're in Gallus, you're always on top.
You're always on top.
Apparently, that's their slogan. Wow, good stuff, Gallus. What does Gallus even mean? I'm gonna
We have
Dictionary.
looked this up before,
Okay,
but
you
yeah,
continue.
remind us.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it. You
Felt like I had Gallus today after last night.
The sense of arrogance and style shown
Style? Get out of here.
used in a sentence. See him? He thinks he's pure Gallus.
All right.
Yeah.
We go to our match, Gallus versus Briggs and Jensen. This is for the NXT UK tag titles, Briggs and Jensen being your champions here. Right before the match, we see Fallon Henley getting in a bit of a scrap with Lash Legend.
Oh.
And the boys kind of dragging her away to hold her back. The match starts, we have Wolfgang backing Briggs into the corner. There's some quick tags between him and Mark Coffey, allowing to double team Briggs. Brooks comes in and they essentially do the same thing to him. At some point we notice Brooks' mouth's been busted open.
Yeah.
Didn't quite see from what this was. Jensen eventually manages to duck a clothesline to make a tag to Briggs, and they manage to knock Gallus down to the floor. Briggs then takes control of the match, and this is where Lash Legend runs out to continue her fight with Fallon Henley, and Pretty Deadly come to join as well. There's a big brawl on the outside. The ref doesn't decide to call a DQ, but just counts out Briggs and Jensen. So Gallus win by DQ, but obviously do not win the titles.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. The ref just decided, nah,
It's
I'm gonna count
distractions, we let it go,
Yeah.
but like
Full-on
physicality,
fighting?
like no.
You. Was this announced like as a street fight?
No.
No,
Well,
it's
no.
just so weird.
So count out. I didn't think this was very good.
Yeah.
at all. Like my notes are so minimal on this because nothing really happened. It was just a lot of isolating Briggs and Jensen in the corner,
Yeah.
some punches, and then this weird finish. I thought this was pretty dull.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. I thought it was pretty brutal, actually. Everything, especially the finish. How many times in wrestling have we seen this when it's a DQ instantly? The ref's just like, I'm going to count instead. I don't know why you can't make it back to the ring, but I'm going to look at you and count you out while two people are attacking you.
I will say as well, even though the quality isn't the same as it used to be, we do get the odd like big match here and there. And NXT still has been doing pretty well with, opening with a pretty like hot, high profile match and ending with one. And this just felt like nothing.
Yeah,
This
nothing
put me to
says
sleep.
high profile like Gallus and Briggs and Jensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like this, and then it leads to this all out brawl afterwards, where it's like all the different teams. So this makes me believe the match at the pay per view is like a 4-way.
Yes, sorry, Diamond Mine then run out
Yeah.
to join in the attack.
So it's Pretty Deadly, Briggs and Jensen, Gallus, and Diamond Mine.
Diamond Mine.
I would assume we get some sort of 4-way unification, maybe a ladder match.
So you think maybe the two teams in Diamond Mine, so like Damon and Roddy as a team, and
no.
Creeds,
Briggs and Jensen.
Pretty Deadly as well. I forgot
Pretty
about
Deadly,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So Briggs and Jensen, Creeds.
You could do
Pretty
5
Deadly,
teams, but that's a lot of.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's probably one of the matches I would put on. It also switches it up from just being a single. Oh, I guess a tag team match, but
Yeah, 4-way makes
regardless,
sense, I
yeah,
guess,
it makes sense with all 4 teams, and I'd have Diamond Mine win it.
We go to Chase U, where Andre Chase introduces Charlie Dempsey, Regal Jr. here.
Yeah, young William Regal.
And he says, I've brought him in as kind of a special guest who is going to teach them some catch-as-catch-can wrestling.
You wouldn't know it's William Regal's kid. They don't mention that, by the
No.
way. We're smart because we listen to Shot in the Dark.
So Charlie Dempsey asks for a volunteer, kind of gets him to offer his wrist, and then just starts stretching this guy. And Andre stops him and is like, whoa, Charlie, we're just doing an exhibition here. It's just to kind of teach. And then he's like, well, let's bring in Bodie Hayward here. He's a bit more, one of our more advanced students. And Charlie Dempsey does the same thing here, just stretches this guy out. Andre pulls him off, and Bodie, we never see that mad. He's normally pretty happy, our Bodie. He's fired up, shoves him, says, what the hell was that? This was practice. And Charlie says that Chase U, the class is too soft, and if they want homework, they should look up Billy Robinson.
Yeah.
So,
and when I looked in Urban Dictionary, Billy Robinson meet. Yeah, I mean, this guy looks like Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
He
looks exactly like him. Yeah, I mean, I remember these segments when they were called Timothy Thatcher's School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
That was really great. Remember that? Fight Pit. Maybe we'll get one.
I thought this was actually a bit more fun, though, having like the Chase U, who are all just like smiley, happy students. Yeah, all right, introduction to Dempsey, essentially establishing that same kind of Timothy Thatcher character, but I'm okay.
So they fire all these people, but they don't fire Regal's kid because they know he'll go train with another school.
Yeah.
If they let that happen, for sure.
I can't say I've ever watched any of his stuff, but I have heard pretty good things about Charlie Dempsey, and if he's one they are keeping hold of, which is only a handful, would be interested to see. I do like this style of wrestling. So yeah, I'd be interested in seeing this guy.
He already looks the part, and obviously it kind of sounds shitty to say, but if you say, "Hey, that's William Regal's son," that makes me go, "Okay, I actually really want to like see what you can do," kind of thing, in a weird, twisted way.
And you also know, with things being how they are now, you know Regal's got a job when his contract expires. He'll be back. So why wouldn't you want to do that at some point down the road?
Yeah.
We have a brand new talk show.
That's right.
What's with talk shows in wrestling?
What's with talk shows in wrestling?
It's the Grayson Waller effect. Great name. So Vic Joseph is just kind of on screen, kind of saying things that have happened and promoting.
That's how he talks.
When
I don't know if we've talked about that, but he always talks like that when he's telling the mat. So you'll hear.
He'll be talking, and someone will hit a move.
Bless Big Joseph.
But Grayson Waller just tells him to shut up. He says, enough screen time for you. It's time for the Grayson Waller effect, where I did find this kind of amusing. He's got his classic like set
TV,
but then he's got a picture-in-picture, but the picture-in-picture is of him, so he's just on the screen twice. Looks like when I've set up the OBS wrong for the Twitch studio.
There's two of us.
Yeah. He says, this show is all about Grayson Waller. Go to my Instagram live and you can ask questions, and who knows, I might read one of them out tonight for my guest. And Apollo comes out, who's the guest. And first, Waller's had his chair set like way too low, so he's like, "Oh, you're a little short there, buddy. Let me raise that." Just mocking him off the bat. And Waller goes off about people trying to steal from his hype train, and that Apollo's been one of them since coming back to NXT. And Apollo says, "Yo, look, I was born here in NXT, and I found something missing in myself, and I had to come back here to find it. And some people would love it, like this crowd, and other people like you would hate it." And then Waller goes, "Wait, I've got a great question here. Didn't you used to have an accent?"
Oh.
And Apollo says, "Yes, I did," and even does the accent and says,
"Get this man a shield."
Yeah. It's like, I was a Nigerian warrior, and don't get it twisted. Apollo Crews is still a Nigerian warrior, and I'm still proud of my heritage. I went on to WrestleMania 37 to become an IC champion, but I was too focused on my past and not as focused on the future. And Waller goes, "Yeah, talking about the future, what's up with that? You can somehow see the future and also transmit it to our TV screen so we can all see it."
It's the smartest thing Grayson Waller's ever said.
Yeah. And Apollo's like, "Well, it doesn't quite work like that." Because he's going, tell me what's going to happen next. No, it doesn't quite work like that. I'm a huge visual thinker, and there's no greater force than knowing yourself. So Waller goes, "Well, if you knew Diamond Mine were going to get attacked by Gallus last week, why didn't you do anything about it?" And Apollo starts to get a little mad. He tells him to stop interrupting him, and he even gets out of his chair to confront Waller. And then Waller says, "How does it know feeling that you're going to be ran out of NXT by Grayson Waller?" Kind of, I think he even made a Gargano reference, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Apollo he comes back by saying, how does it feel to be a low-budget version of The Miz?
Oh.
And there's a low-budget Miz chant. And Waller asks how he goes to his family, saying he couldn't cut it on Mondays and Fridays, so had to go to work on a Tuesday. Apollo says, well, I became a champ on a Monday, I became a champ on a Friday, and I will become a champ on a Tuesday. Punches him in the face, and that kind of ends the segment.
He says that's the Apollo Crews effect.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that's what we say about Grayson Waller, and then they gave him this talk show and is like solidifying that. But second of all, as someone in the chat is saying, isn't that what CM Punk called MJF in their feud?
I feel that
everyone does that.
Anyone who is a shitty heel who just runs their mouth,
You're
a budget Miz.
Yeah. It's what I've been saying about Waller, and that's the one thing that's like not the like you mentioned, the one creative thing in this was like the picture in picture.
Yeah.
It's like it's one laugh, but then the rest of it's just him being the same character. I definitely do not. The best thing about Grayson Waller is his shirts, clearly. But I mean, setting up for this match, will this be a part of Worlds Collide, or is this just next week?
I feel it. Although, what would they do otherwise? I feel like Cruz would probably be on the show.
Sure.
Unless they tie him in with the Diamond Mine thing. You could do Cruz Roddy. Have we seen that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's this. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just see this on TV.
Yeah. I didn't really care for this. The talk show things in wrestling is definitely played out.
There's too many of them.
Yeah, and it gets too of the same thing, like copy paste, literally. Way too many times. Like nothing. The line about the Miz and the accent, like the accent line is kind of already like he's been back for a while.
Yeah.
We've already heard that brought up, and no one will ever do it as good as Triple H to Kofi Kingston. Yeah. So like, why you're already a bootleg version of that. So it's budget. Yeah.
I didn't mind. I think Waller is good at just being hateable. He's so hateable, and I think for a lot it's hateable to the point of being put off. But I do think he plays it well. But I just don't really ever enjoy these segments. They're just so rinse and repeat.
Yeah, we were watching this earlier because we were watching and eating dinner, and we were talking like this guy is so down the card that like he mentions Johnny Gargano because Johnny Gargano came back, but Johnny's like, yeah, you're not good enough for me to like.
I don't need that revenge.
Yeah, I don't even care to come back to fight in my honor because it's just you. Yeah. you'll be gone in a while. It's fine. It almost would make sense to bring him up with the Miz. Like, sorry, do it.
Yeah,
strike it, go for it. Let him see what he can run his mouth. He'll probably learn a lot being with the Miz. He'll come in and take out Ciampa's spot, and that's how you set up Ciampa.
Well, Miz has been kidnapped, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean Waller's lucky. Dexter has more taste because he would have came in and kidnapped him too in this resort. But yeah, that's what I want to see. Waller goes up to be budget Miz. That's like what he goes for, and then they feud with DIY.
Yeah,
there you go.
We see Pretty Deadly confront Gallus backstage. They basically tell them they look like shit and they don't look as good as...
Oh, is that what they said? I could not understand.
No, Pretty Deadly were telling Gallus that they look not as good as them.
No, Pretty Deadly make me like, yes, boy indeed. Because these guys played it like, oh, we see you're stealing our gimmick now. You're coming dressed like to impress. This had me dying because I'm like, yeah, they look like that.
Gallus say they're here to take the titles home, and Pretty Deadly say, well, remember it was us who took the titles from you, and they brawl, I think.
I was just dying. They're like, oh, at least you're trying to look good.
Yeah.
It's like they're not.
We get a little video package promoting Tyler Bate, showing his kind of initial NXT UK tournament win and some of his big matches over the years in NXT and NXT UK.
And he had some great matches, honestly, yeah.
And then we go to Von Wagner, who's with Mr. Stone. Von says, Tyler Bate is known as a big, strong boy.
Big, strong boy.
Well, I'm a big, strong man. And after I crush him, he won't even be able to make it to Worlds Collide.
Yeah. He didn't say this is Von's... He had a great opportunity for Wagner's World Collides.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
True.
but instead he went, "Guess what, Mackenzie?" He just is either he's fed the worst generic things, or he just says the worst generic things.
It's the squinting, isn't it?
Fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
I don't take any Von. Only I love this guy so much that I'm allowed to make fun of him because I love him so much, and he is
an incredible wrestler.
Yeah, good stuff.
We go to Javier Bernal.
Javier
Bardem. Gal Garcia Bernal. Taking on Cameron Grimes. Show some footage from earlier today where Bernal is saying he has his debut tonight. I'm pretty sure we've seen him in squashes before. It's his re-debut.
Yeah, but this is the guy who's kind of just been chirping Grimes backstage casually.
And he's talking to Hank, the security guard.
Yes, we love
Hank. A bit of Hank. And is just being pretty obnoxious, walks off, and as he leaves, Hank calls him a prick. Seems to be his catchphrase now. He's such a prick.
Javier Bardem? Javier Bernal?
Javier Bernal.
Bernal, right, okay. Yeah, so he's going to now face Grimes in this big epic grudge match.
Yes.
So, all right.
Epic grudge match.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The Schism are on the perch watching. So Joe Gacy with Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed.
Those don't sound like real names. Every time they say them.
Because I've been watching these guys for so long, but I need to get out of the habit of just putting Gibson and Drake. Yeah. So today I had to look up, okay, who's
Rip Fowler?
Who's Gigawatt Fowler? And who's
no
Mick
idea.
Jagger? I don't know.
They all look like they're standing around waiting for you to wave them down to get the check.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it looks like.
At some weird restaurant.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They all dress like that, though.
Yeah.
Like the button-ups and just standing there like, yes, hello, yeah.
Gacy gets on the mic and wishes Grimes good luck. Early on in the match, Bernal kind of backs in the corner pretending his face is hurt to get in a cheap shot on Grimes. Grimes comes back with a big kick to the chest. There's a bulldog from Bernal for a near fall. And then there's a really weird moment where I think they just... Maybe their timing was off or something. It looks like Grimes just goes for a standard back body drop. But Bernal, I think, thought was going for maybe a flapjack or something different and just lands on his head.
Yeah, it's very similar to when Chris Benoit did it to Sabu in ECW. It was the same thing.
Right.
He thinks he's going for a thing, but instead he throws him in the air. Obviously, Javier lands okay.
He landed on his hands and stuff. He was fine, but it just looked...
Up,
I think they just both
down.
thought they were doing a different move here or something. It was weird.
It looked exactly like that. Like he's almost like he's going for that, like a dive into the mat. It can be scary, but it looked like he was okay.
Grimes then hits the cave-in and picks up the win while staring at Joe Gacy on the perch.
Yeah, big cave-in. I like that.
Yeah, I kind of... Like, this didn't do a whole lot. Obviously, it was just to get a big win back for Grimes, who maybe they're playing with the fact that he's thinking about joining the family and already he's getting wins. But I felt Grimes is someone I really like. He was very much going through the motions in this match, I thought.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, moving a bit slower. It's like, okay, I then do this bit. I do my PK. I do my...
I think, yeah, we saw Braun Breaker has been, like, on a great streak. And then when they did the Gacy stuff, it was the most... stupidest shit we've seen so far in 2.0. It's laughable garbage. And then Grimes, who's been handed so many different feuds here and there, is now instantly dragged down because of this feud. It doesn't help anyone be excited to see Cameron Grimes because we just don't care about Gacy and these two weirdos. But the writing on the wall is, if this is the thing that's going for Grimes, let's go. Put him on SmackDown, like, next week. You know what I mean? Like, let's move this guy up right away. Job out to Gacy next week. Don't join the thing and then show up on SmackDown. I'm sure he'd find a great place in a mid-card section right away, maybe, possibly.
This guy as well just doesn't, like, he's got so much personality. We don't want to see him be depressed.
Depressed and sad.
Especially, it's saying, okay, the indie thing had a bit of a payoff today.
Yeah.
But it's same with her. Like, I don't want to see a depressed baby face.
Yeah.
It does nothing
Yeah.
for you. Seeing, like, a comedy heel going through a depression thing can be quite funny. But, like, it's Grimes. It's him and Indy right now. You're just moaning.
It's almost like the Hangman thing worked, like in AEW, because he was always like, you know, sad and everything. But that's such a long...
there was so much more depth.
Yeah, exactly.
To that as well.
You can't just flip that on and try to make it work. Like, Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think Grimes, the fresh coat of paint could instantly be great matches with people on the main roster.
He's a guy, as whenever they want, you can flick that switch and do whatever you want with him. We've seen him be so versatile in so many different feuds that really shouldn't have worked, and they did.
Yeah.
But I really don't see this one doing anything for him.
Like Cameron Grimes, Seth Rollins, Cameron Grimes, Kofi Kingston. I know that's a dream match of his. Cameron Grimes versus a few different people. Obviously, he kind of in like not the biggest of wrestlers, but that doesn't matter these days. And I feel like there's a few things. I honestly would do him as a heel, start it all over again, like kind of how we saw in NXT. Like get the money again, wear the hat, do the whole motions, and then instantly. Yeah, I think he could have a spot if done correctly. But this isn't it for me. I don't like the Gacy stuff and these two creeps.
We now have a video package for Blair Davenport, who we saw arrive last week. She says she's gothic charisma with cold-hearted fury, born in England, raised in New Zealand, and she will do whatever it takes to win. All these video packages just kind of showing clips of like where they're from and a bit stylized and stuff, just with a voiceover. I didn't mind this week though, to like get you, if you've never seen NXT UK before, having like little character packages for each person.
Yeah, I think it's right to let people know who people are. I do find it funny that I wear dark lipstick and dark colored gear, so therefore I am gothic charisma.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, do real goths say they're real goths? I don't know. I feel like that's a thing. If you're actually goth, you don't tell people you're goth. So I'm a little like, you're a little playing poser here, but that's just me nitpicking. I think so far what we see later, there could be some room for her in wherever they go with NXT Europe or NXT 2.0, but an okay introduction. Gothic charisma. I'm gonna start saying that.
Gothic charisma.
What do you do? How do you bring that into conversation? Like she just said, I am gothic charisma. What? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about yourself. I have gothic charisma.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Gothic charisma. Cool. What's your favorite
what was
Baja
it? Gothic
song?
charisma with, what did she say? With cold-hearted fury.
Yeah, I want. Does she wear? She's gonna start wearing like goth bands, but she doesn't know what they are.
Know them. Yeah. I don't know. She's always worn black, and maybe she is gothy.
She could be the most goth person ever. Although they have a witch over in NXT UK too. So I mean,
not
goth
anymore. Is she still there?
Is she?
I don't know.
Isla Dawn. Sure, she'll show up.
We then get a video package for Alba Fire, who still doesn't seem done with Lash Legend. Lash definitely seemed done with her today because she's feuding with
beating
Fallon
up
Henley.
other people.
Whereas Alba's still going on about Lash Legend, how she disrespected her heritage. And she talks about these fire burners, these women in Scotland who used to protect Scotland by burning fire.
This is some unintentional funny shit, but we just said that Lash Legend clearly has moved on because she was attacking someone else earlier in the segment. And here Fire is like, I never forget about my heritage and the fire burning and the fire dancers and the things of Scotland, just like I won't forget about you, Lash Legend. It's like, that she forgot about you.
She's moved on.
Yeah, like, honey, come on.
She says, no one will extinguish my flame. I'm a warrior and will do whatever it takes to win. From the women who protected Scotland with fire all the way to NXT. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Helm's Locks of Scotland, she says. Yeah. So one's goth, one's fire. We're going to collect all the...
I hate this fire shit.
Like, as unfortunate it is, it's like no one has used like a fiery gimmick in a little while. Like, okay, cool. But then you're not lighting people on fire.
She just likes fire.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah. It's...
Yeah.
I mean, I felt this should have been the debut of her new character. Talking about...
Yeah.
Because she's gone through... You could have even tied it in with the name change and stuff. Like, I wasn't where I thought I wanted to be, so I went back to my
roots.
Like, my roots and my ancestors who used to protect Scotland with fire, and I want to adopt that and bring that in to try and become a warrior or whatever. But it's like, we've seen you playing around with your fire baseball bat for 3 months now. It's like, oh, now you're telling me.
3 months and no one's been lit on fire.
Yeah.
So...
And your feud's over.
Yeah, she doesn't even care about you.
Yeah.
Yikes.
We go to Indy Hartwell taking on Blair Davenport. in Blair Davenport's NXT debut. Davenport drop kicks Indy to the outside, and as Indy's trying to get back in, she hits her with a swinging neckbreaker in the ropes, then hits another swinging neckbreaker in the ring, and applies the Cobra Clutch, or the money clip here, transitions it into a sleeper, getting on the back of Indy, who breaks it by falling backwards to break the hold. Indy then has a bit of momentum, hitting a spine buster, and then an inside cradle for a 2 count. And then Davenport comes back, hitting almost like a brain buster. But
Swinging neckbreaker?
It was...
Something like that.
It was like kind of more of a brain buster, like lifting her up, but looked a little awkward. I don't know if... I haven't seen a whole lot of her. I don't know if this is her finish or not,
right.
But I can't say it looked that great. But Davenport wins the match. And after the match, she finishes off Indy by hitting a Kamagoye.
Yeah.
Which would have been a better finish, I think.
Yeah, I think I've seen her do that before when I have seen some NXT UK. But she's doing Okada's moves. She's doing Ibushi's moves. Waiting for the hidden blade to pop up. But yeah, not the best first impression. But I will say, like, still, I still think there'll be some room. I mean, in the next in the next little bit, we'll understand she'll be featured in a big match. But not the best kind of first big impression.
She's been an interesting one because I've seen some of her work. I haven't seen loads of her work. Yeah. I can't say I really checked out any of her NXT UK stuff. Obviously, she was in AEW quite briefly. We saw some stuff there. I checked out the like stuff she did Empty Arena with Ospreay, and she's someone who I've seen be very good and other times been a little clunky. And I think Indy's had a real bad run recently of not so great matches, and I kind of add this to the list. I just didn't think they really connected.
There was a spot,
too well.
the spot in the middle of the match where she's like hitting like a hangman neckbreaker out when Indy's like suspended in the ropes, but they just both like fall, and it looked kind of weird.
There were a few things like that. I didn't think it did a whole lot for me.
It didn't, but it kind of was an afterthought afterwards because both women go into like a different direction, which
they
I
have
think
their
works
own thing.
works way better for them. Yeah, I don't think either of these two are bad talents at all. This was a kind of
Indy to me has kind of been having her storyline, but like it's actually been reflecting in her work. I know what you mean, which is a shame because we've seen good stuff from her. So Davenport gets on the mic and she says, "The most menacing mistress of NXT UK has arrived, and I have just wasted one of the best that this division has to offer. I was number one contender in the UK, so I guess that means I'm the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. That will do just fine. Blair Davenport is the rightful heir to the Women's Championship." And of course, she's interrupted by Mandy Rose, the NXT Women's Champion, who says, "We haven't met, but I am Mandy Rose, and you're standing in my ring. You entered into my world, and in my world, everyone follows my lead. I'm the most dominant woman in NXT, and I'm going to show you what I've shown everyone else, and that's to put some respect on my name."
Put some respect on my name.
I kind of felt this was like a bit of a almost, or at least to this crowd, Mandy was a babyface here tonight.
A little bit, yeah.
Definitely a bigger like reaction, like cheering for her and kind of actually getting into the put respect on my name. I think that's more just because Davenport's positioned pure heel.
Yeah.
But I could see Mandy being a bit of a tweener in this feud. When Meiko Satomura comes out.
Yeah, the last line Mandy says is, I've been the most dominant like
women's
champion, and that's when it cues in Miko showing up, and I definitely was like, okay, all right, the dream match of Mandy Miko, we're one step closer.
I think Vic Joseph did a really good job here of putting over who Satomura is if you don't know her.
Yeah.
She says, if we're talking about respect, we're talking about the most respected woman in this industry. She is the final boss, the living legend. I like that stuff, being like, hey, if you don't know who this is like everyone around the world knows who this woman is.
Yeah,
and respects this woman.
Definitely got a lot of respect when she like joined NXT in the past little while, winning this title over there and everything like that. And that we definitely were chatting about her quite a bit from when she entered in that tournament, the Mae Young Classic, I think it was, right? And like, yeah, that led us to go down a wormhole of a bunch of stuff. They mentioned this is her first time on North American TV in like
5 years,
like
I think.
5 years or something like that. So I can't even imagine what it was before that. But she's wrestled on Nitro. She's wrestled all over the place. So this is, we've talked about it because we always love talking about dream matches and stuff like that. But Miko versus pretty much anyone from the past like 5 years in NXT women's division sounds so good, except Mandy Rose.
Well, these two,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
they had a match in UK, didn't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. I always find this weird in wrestling when you look at the deck of cards you have and some of the hands you play. But I mean, she might be here to stay, so we can get to those. It's just we got to do something with these titles.
I'll raise you. Okay, so then it Miko turns to them and says,
So yeah, Miko says, Mandy, you were wrong. You are not the most dominant women's champion. That would be me. And Mandy actually, and this is where I was kind of getting slight more face vibes. She does put respect on her. She's like, yeah, I've seen what you've done. I do respect you. Mako says it should be champion versus champion. And then Blair Davenport is like, well, what about me? I'm number one contender. The crowd start chanting, shut the hell up. And Mako's just said, hey, look, it's wrestling. There's three of us. We'll have a triple threat match. Yeah.
So there you go.
So confirmed triple threat match between Satomura, Mandy Rose, and Blair Davenport at Worlds Collide.
Look, we can't give NXT 2.0 all the wins. So I think we've answered the question, who should be the one to end the over 300 days reign of Mandy Rose? And it's Miko. It should be.
Or it's Davenport and you move both of them up.
Miko to the main roster
Yeah.
as well. I feel like Miko could
Do with some
not
TV.
do. I mean, she
No,
could
but like
wrestle circles around anyone. But I mean, like bringing this up, it's been look. The Mandy thing just hasn't worked. I think for me personally, the women's division took a real big hit in the past little while. Not just the whole show did in the past year, but the women's division, because Mandy's been champ for almost a year, it's been the same rinse repeat of matches. Nothing has ever. No one's been like, wow, did you see that Mandy Rose the match last week? No, because that's just not something that happens. Miko could bring that back in, and there could be some potential stuff to kind of revamp it there. Just we've joked about like who would take it, like Roxanne, and she's busy with Cora. It's not going to be Cora because she's busy with Roxy. So who else could be the one to finally do this? Why not just do this? And then from there, you have a heel beat Miko and get Cora Jade.
Cora, yeah, it should go Mako, Cora, Roxy.
There you go.
She doesn't need hold it long, but just a way of getting it off Mandy. I feel it's the time to move Mandy back up to the main roster with Toxic Attraction. It's a shame Gigi's had this injury, which kind of sucks timing wise because they did give them the win in the women's tournament on SmackDown on Friday. But I do think you can always put Mandy back with Sonya at some point if you want to kind of bolster your tag division on the main roster. I think she's better in that kind of role than as a solos. But yeah, I could see going Davenport, taking it off both of them.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Hey, the Twitch chat's going off saying no. Get Mako on the main roster right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You could, move Mandy to SmackDown, Mako to Raw, or something like that, and have Davenport just run the division for a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's confirmed triple threat match for Worlds Collide for both titles, unification. We get a little Tiffany Stratton video who says, after I beat Wendy Chu, whoever walks out women's champion will have to face me. And after I beat her, she won't be able to show her face here, which is a win for everyone. Then the division and the title will be all about me.
Tiffany Stratton sporting a new look here.
Yeah.
Some big braids, some blonde and pink, long.
She's ready to fight. She
braids
wasn't
here.
being Daddy's little rich girl.
Says $1
today.
million
She's like,
baby.
all right, exactly. I'm fighting tonight.
Yeah, what do you think of these braids? I thought it was a cool look.
I thought she looked great.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good look for
She
her.
always looks like money. I'll give her that. Here we going off about Wolfgang looking like shit. Like Tiffany always. I mean, it's her gimmick, but
I like that. I maybe don't do this look all the time and do her like classic look. But if you're doing a street fight tonight, this is her demon she goes to.
the streets champion, Tiffany Stratton.
Exactly. No, I think this girl is going to be a star.
Yeah.
Like, she's great on the mic. Fantastic look.
She should beat Miko.
And she's been good. Like, she's been pretty solid in the ring.
Yeah.
Especially for someone as new to it as she is. We see Tony D'Angelo with Stax and Legado del Fantasma. And Tony's kind of dressing down Legado here. Says, you tried to get cute last week. Distractions, brass knuckles. If you had a kitchen sink, you'd have thrown it at me. But that is why I'm the Don and Santos is unemployed. But the past is the past and the future starts tonight with a win from Joaquin and Cruz. So it felt like Tony D was kind of wiping the slate clean a bit with these. It's like, I know what you did, but you're going to get a big win tonight, boys. We go to J.D. McDonough, who is being weird.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. He says, at Heatwave, he sacrificed himself to a charging bull, and I enjoyed it more than you. And he's talking about enjoying the pain, and he'll be coming back. And it's revealed he's being 50 Cent here. He's just hanging upside down.
He's
Camera
Batman.
turns around, and we go, oh, yeah, he's gone from Christian Bale in American Psycho to Christian Bale in Batman.
Yeah.
He says, good luck at Worlds Collide, and I'll see you on the other side. So JD kind of saying, I'm not quite done with Bron.
Yeah. I knew he's upside down. His head, it looked like his head was going to pop off. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
I'm getting, you know how Gacy was woke for a bit, and then they're like, nah, you're just magic. You're magic and
And now he's woke again.
I feel like that's kind of what it was here. Like, JD had this more like methodical, like, I'm going to dissect you and I know how to make you hurt, to now I'm just a creep who likes pain.
I like it. Let's go with it.
You like pain as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, sometimes. Like, you know.
We go to... Okay.
I thought you were no-selling me. I was like, he didn't like that one. And then it took you a second. It's okay. We'll edit it in post.
We go to Wesley with Caden and Katana. Wesley says, wow, that guy is weird. You can tell it's a new era because they're watching TV, like, face on. Although they're still standing. No one sits and watches TV in wrestling. Wesley says, whoa, that guy is weird. But let's talk about the gold, because, ladies, you have gold now. When you're champs, you need your head on a swivel. And Caden and Katana say that they're open to all comers and kind of mention that they weren't invited to the main roster for the women's tournament. And she's like, it must have just been because we'd have won it anyway if we were on there. But kind of putting out the challenge that they maybe would welcome talent from other brands is what I got from here.
Right.
But more likely 2 from NXT UK. Who are 2 women we haven't seen yet? You mentioned Isla Dawn earlier. I don't know. Does she have a tag partner?
Don't care. The whole division is not a division. So
yeah.
I like how Wes is not sad anymore. He's got his braids.
He's just annoying.
And he's turned it up like them. He's been hanging out with these two too much.
Yeah.
I like that they've gone back to being babyface, but they've now gone back to annoying babyface. So I hate them instantly.
we saw like Wes and Nash Carter
they're going
get
for
like
that.
this sometimes when they just be annoying.
Yeah.
I think it's just when you watch and go, humans don't talk like this.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that's where it's annoying. It's fine being happy, it's fine being cool, but like oh, it's the rubbing the hands. Oh, I'm so excited for a match, and oh, you got to keep your head on a swivel, ladies. It's like, shut up.
I'm gothic charisma. You don't say that in everyday conversation.
Yeah. We realize that Indy Hartwell's still there.
Yeah.
At the ring. This Kamigoye was deadly.
So she was chilling for a while during all that segment, the break and all this, and then it cuts to her sitting like on the apron, just all sad.
And she says, this is what rock bottom feels like. It sucks. No disrespect to Blair Davenport. She's incredible and will unify the titles and take them to NXT Europe. But the problem is me. 4 months ago, I said I'm tired of the losses and setbacks, and I was going to reach for the stars. But here I stand, here I sit, because she sat on the apron, 4 months later in the same position I was at Stand and Deliver. Nothing makes sense. And then we hear the crowd kind of pick up a bit.
Whoa.
We realize that the other side of the ring, Dexter has just risen. And he does his crawl into the ring. Indy crawls in. They both stare at each other. They embrace.
And
they kiss. Everyone's crying. Beth Phoenix doesn't care about her husband anymore and is just at home sobbing.
This needed Beth. This would have been...
It did need Beth.
Over the top moment. She should have just came out of the crowd. Oh my God!
They leave Indy in her arms.
Indy in his arms. Yeah.
Indy in his arms. They have another kiss. And then we cut to them backstage and he gives her a painting,
a drawing that he does.
And you notice there's flashing blue lights outside.
Again, this is like a movie. You can hear the song playing. It'd be another slow love song ballad as he just like, it's my time. And then like opens the doors and we realize all the cops are there because he just revealed himself on TV. Yeah. Therefore,
they've shown up.
They know where to get him.
And he kind of goes out, the doors open, puts his arms up. He's arrested, taken away for the kidnap of the Miz. And
this is the most like crossover they've ever done for NXT and main roster. The continuity here is fantastic. And this proves Triple H made the right call bringing this guy back. Because this was beautiful. This was fantastic. Easily one of the best 2.0 segments so far.
Indy, we didn't really get a glimpse of what the picture was on one side.
It said, like, I love you.
No. Oh. So on one side it had a painting.
Oh, okay.
But on the other side it said, goodbye Indy, in brackets, for now, I love you forever.
Wow.
This was great. Like, this sucked when he got released. Because we had this story going on for... a year, and then it just ended suddenly. At least they did somewhat address it with Indy being like, hey, I lost my best friend and my husband. But for them to bring it back, like, I thought this was great.
Yeah, honestly, it was super funny that's how he like he just shows up. We were saying like Indy's been in this weird slot. Instantly, she was wearing red gear.
Yeah,
raw colored gears. I mean, you know, she could come up, show up.
But there is. They addressed last night on Raw, Theory and Gargano, which is stuff that we don't always see. Them acknowledging what happened previously in their career. Dexter taking out Miz, who is Ciampa's partner, I found quite interesting.
Exactly.
It could all be tied together.
I think so, yeah.
Somehow.
I think so. I think this is a way to get Indy onto the main roster. Do the Index love stuff on the main roster. You know how popular that would get? I think it would work. I really like this segment and I loved it. And it was before he did the whole "here's this card, I love you" and getting arrested. It made it like a movie. Like this is like Natural Born Killers or something. Like I want to see the love, like them on the run. Like Prison Break or something.
But also, this can be a way to kind of, like, give Indy her spark back. Because she knows her man. She knows he was there the whole time.
I gotta wrestle. I gotta win matches so I can get my boo out of jail.
So I did see a tweet of the picture of... Do you remember the segment when, like, Candice and Indy were spying?
Yeah.
And they've got their
Johnny
binoculars.
and Candice.
Johnny and Candice were spying. It's like, that's how we bring in Candice. They're gonna try and break Dexter out.
That would be pretty fun. See, like that's so ridiculous that it works, kind of thing. But I would like Indy and I would like Index back on main roster as a main thing. I think it could work. I think it could get audiences watching that. Like non-wrestling fans would kind of get into it because it's weird.
Johnny can flex that sweet new main roster contract and post bail.
That's what I'm saying. I want to like see where they can go with that. I want a Mickey and Mallory story with Index, but. Really loved this thing. This was a great love moment, and we did a show a few years ago for Valentine's Day called Top 5 Moments of Love in Wrestling, and we went through like all like anything involving couples and love in WWE. And I mean, this has to be added. This story isn't over yet. This is just beginning. I'm excited to see. This will make me watch Raw every week.
Knocked Out Films in the Twitch questioned, how did he get across the border?
I mean, yeah, he clearly used his shoot name.
The Usos couldn't make it across. Yeah,
neither could Nikita or Raquel.
Yeah.
So I mean, how did he get back into the States?
Yeah,
interesting. Maybe someone helped him out. A Canadian, Drake. He's helped with getting people across the border. Maybe that was it.
What?
Yeah, people who have issues, like celebrities who have issues getting into Canada, they hit up Drake and he gets them in. So maybe Dexter.
That sounds problematic.
he's got a way in. I don't know.
We go to Cora Jade, who says, if Roxanne is so amazing, what does that make the woman who beat her at Heatwave? And everyone I see going online about, oh, it should have been a DQ. Well, if Roxanne had DDT'd me on this stick, everyone would have been okay with it. So all those guys on the internet complaining about it being a DQ, how about you go on a date with a girl and no, inflatable dolls don't count.
Ooh, burn. Man. It's 2022 though. I mean, they got like robots and shit now. So. Just saying.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Cora just being mean here.
Yeah.
Shitting on us nerdy wrestling fans.
Yeah, I would say that it's a toss-up between her and Tiffany to be like the kind of next big baddie of the women's division in the next few months, assuming Mandy's out.
I think Cora will hold the title before Tiffany.
Yeah.
I think Tiffany is better in this role. I don't think Cora's bad. I do still... It feels a lot of I'm playing being mean right now, and it's such a switch from her old character.
Yeah.
Whereas Tiffany just kind of owns it. But Cora's doing okay in it.
Yeah.
We go to the Dyad. So Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed taking on Legado del Fantasma as part of the... No,
they don't call them
it did. The graphic said Legado del Fantasma for these two.
Because they're trying to play it off like you're not that anymore. Tony's like, you're not those guys. You're just cruising wild now.
Yeah, I did know it was on the graphic that came up. But yeah, part of the Tony D'Angelo family. Cameron Grimes is this time watching on the perch.
So he's watching the
Dyad
lads.
Rip Fowler hits a tope suicida to Joaquin. There's then this like assisted slingshot crossbody from the Dyad on the floor, and then they all embrace Gacy, kind of best friends-esque here.
Yeah, hugging him.
Jagger Reed then tags in and just... This was weird. Jagger Reed, so James Drake gets tagged in, and it looked like he was diving for a tag, because like Joaquin wasn't really in the ring, and he just jumps face first to the mat. I feel like we might see this on a Botchamania. It just looked weird.
Maybe it's part of his gimmick.
Yeah. Joaquin now taking out both guys. There's he looked great here, hitting a satellite DDT to Fowler.
Yeah, Wild and Cruz always look good, and they definitely stepped up and doing smooth. Some of the crazy stuff. And then they finally gain control, and then they like taunt a little bit, and that's when Tony's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you showboating? Stop it! Just friggin' wrestle." Clearly, a big fan of that Drew McIntyre promo from a few weeks ago. Just friggin' wrestle.
Just friggin' wrestle. There's a beautiful looking like double running suplex to Jagger Reed from Legado. But there's a blind tag from the Dyad, allowing them to take control and hit the Ticket to Mayhem, which we don't have a new name for it yet, on Joaquin to pick up the win.
Yeah, what would you rename their move if they're not the Ticket to Ride if they're not British anymore? Essentially, I mean they're but like
under the schism tree.
It ain't like something about being woke or I don't know.
Ticket to I don't know.
I didn't really get too into the match, but at Broken Record, if you listen to us, Legado are awesome.
They always look so good. When they get their hot tag and they get a show of what they can do, they're great.
And we're yelling at the TV like, these guys should have been kicked out with Santos so he could have taken him away. Well, I mean, we might see that. But yeah.
Well, D'Angelo is mad at them. He says, "You're not going to make money without me, so none of all that flippy stuff. Stop doing all the flippy shit, guys."
And then when they're like shaking their head at him and they're walking off, he's like, "What are you crying about? There's no crying in wrestling."
We see Javier Bernal backstage.
Oh boy.
And people are like walking past him going, "Oh, bad luck, unlucky." And there's some girl sat there.
She's great.
Who says, you almost did it there. And he goes, "Almost," kind of just dresses her down, is really mean to her, kind of calls her a nobody. And Security Hank...
Oh, yeah.
tells him to never talk to a woman like that and tells him to hit the showers. This reminded me of the other week when we were at Handlebar and that guy told me to smile.
You should smile more.
And I went, "Don't you ever fucking dare tell me to smile again. Who are you?"
And then he's like, "I'm so sorry," and tried to shake your hand. You're like, "Don't fucking
No, hit the showers." And he left. Guys, never tell a girl to smile.
Yeah, don't
or me.
Yeah, I love Hank. Hank was already over, and now he's defending a woman in honor.
This is a gimmick I think is kind of great.
Yeah.
Have a security guy who just...
witnesses all these assholes.
You have, because he's been in quite a few scenes now. It's just been like thanks, Hank, or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you've got the crowd here, we're chanting, "Hank, Hank, Hank." And then you build, I know he's been on Level Up or whatever, but you build from him as security getting into a ruckus with Banal or whoever, and you have your debut match. I actually quite like it. I think it's quite smart.
Yeah,
and he calls him a prick again.
Let's get Hank over. I mean, he's great. He kind of looks like Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Like a bit bigger, I guess, but a little bit. But I love Hank, man. Hank for future champ.
John Cena was suggesting Hank and Sanger teaming up. Being like the two big nice guys.
Two big nice guys.
Hanger.
Yeah. The tag team of Hank and Hank.
Yeah.
Hank and Sanger.
Yeah.
Wow.
You need it.
Hanger.
Give the people what they want.
Honestly, Hank is... I see big things on the horizon for Hank. Good stuff. Security guard gimmick.
Legado are leaving the arena when an unmarked vehicle pulls up.
I mean, what a great way for if this is the final... This is a parking lot with Legado.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
The way to do it. And this time, the window comes down. It's Santos looking... He looks like in one of the classic Rock $500 shirts, like the blue and the gold one. And he's
Is it blue or is it gold?
He's all smiles here. And he's probably thinking, oh yeah, I lost my job but got a great contract right after.
You don't know what I got.
And he just goes, guys, you didn't think I was leaving without you, did I? La Familia sticks together. And they're all smiles. They all get in the car. And, well, where's SmackDown on Friday?
They're driving to Detroit.
Is that where it is? Yeah. Love it. Like, keep these people together. I'm excited to see. I think SmackDown's would be a right fit for the group.
Yeah, I mean, I've been joking a lot with the whole bring them up, easy big feud with him as Rey Mysterio down the line. That has to happen, and it will be fucking gold. Cannot wait. But they're 3 wrestlers that have like hot matches, so that's a good like way to start off as baby faces. And that's how he came in. Remember, he was the mask and stuff. I do think that would be such a great way to kind of redo some of these storylines that actually hit. It's not a bad idea because you could pretend like they're such good people. Wow, we escaped some bad people in NXT and we got out of here and now we have good contracts on the main roster. And then over time, kind of get a little more sleazy and then show your true colors and be the Legado that we kind of knew and that ran shit in NXT.
I feel a Bloodline story would be great.
Exactly. You've
got like Roman and the Usos were like, we are like the bloodline of wrestling, and it's we represent all this other culture in wrestling, and we've got our history and lineage and stuff, and that's fresh. Like Usos and Joaquin and Raul would be great.
It seems WWE's going in the route of kind of what AEW's done with the stables and factions and stuff, like the Judgment Day and all that stuff. So it makes sense because there's going to be different iterations of different teams that could go up against it, and lining these guys up with anyone. I mean, Joaquin Wilde, Cruz, and Santos, anyone who faces them are in good hands. Yeah. They'll put on a great show and protect them and make someone else look so good. That's just what they've been doing in NXT for this whole time, and I think it's time to give them some shine. It is funny that the storyline was like, you're gone from NXT, he shows up. Also, you can't take your boys with you. He takes his boys with him anyways. So it's like, okay, let's just forget about that because we don't want them here anymore.
Hey, sometimes that's how life works, you know? Yeah. You get fired and then, I actually got a way better job.
So I hope to see them soon because they would be great on SmackDown.
I agree. We go to Von Wagner taking on Tyler Bate. It starts off, Tyler is just obviously a lot smaller than Von Wagner here. Just evading Von. He's doing a lot of kind of forward rolls to get away from him. Von eventually catches him with a military press slam. Bate goes for the Tyler driver on the much bigger opponent, but can't get him all the way up. So Von Wagner kind of flips him out of it, but Bate lands on his feet, but gets caught with a huge fall-away slam. And then Stone kind of indicates to Wagner he should pick him up and throw him into the crowd like he did to Ikemen Jiro. So Von tries to pick up Bate, but Bate slips out, sends Wagner to the outside, and then dives over the top rope to take him out. Wagner comes back with a big clothesline for a 2, and then Tyler goes for he kind of does his bouncing off his neck off the top rope into a lariat, goes for it twice, but Wagner blocks both times, but this allows Bate to hit bop and bang, like the fake out, put the arm in the air, and the little jab, followed by the rolling Liger kick to the back of the head, an exploder suplex, and then Tyler Bate climbs to the top and hits the spiral tap, which I think...
The spinny boy.
Is that what he named it? Okay. And Tyler Bate wins.
Yeah, a good little quick match to kind of show what he can do and kind of refresh your memory. So, unfortunately for Vaughn, he was just there to make Bate look good.
Yeah, I feel we'll see a few. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him beat like Duke Hudson next week or something like that. Just go through these lower card big heels because obviously there is a bit of a height difference between him and Bron Breakker. So if you can get over in the next couple of weeks that he's a bit of a giant killer or something, give him a bit more credibility going up against Bron. But this was fine. We know Tyler Bate's really good. I didn't think a whole lot of the match.
Yeah. He hit his stuff in one.
He got his stuff in. Doesn't look quite as jacked as I remember him.
Yeah, I remember him being a bit more jacked, but I mean, that's just... we haven't watched him in all.
Needs to work on it now.
He's also got like a whole different look than what he used to look. He used to have a mustache.
He looks like he should be part of Gallus. Like he doesn't look good.
He does look like he could be in Gallus.
Doesn't look like a champion right now.
Yeah, no
Sort
disrespect.
it out, Tyler.
Yeah.
Going off on people today.
Yeah, we're so mean.
Yeah, sorry.
People are gonna look at us on YouTube and be like, these are the guys making fun of people's looks. That's how I feel every time I listen to WH Park. Like you.
Thing is though, like if we had contracts and money, we'd look better than this.
Yeah, like I get by in my life now, and I'm all right. Yeah, I'm okay.
It's all right.
I don't look like I'm in Gallus. Maybe I do.
you could fit in Gallus. You dress better than Gallus, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dress like a champion, guys. Come on.
Dress. What is the saying? Don't dress for the job you have.
Dress for the job you want. Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Diamond Mine are celebrating backstage after beating up Gallus, and Brutus says we're going to beat them in the 6-man, and Roddy is like, yeah, we're going to destroy them, and Julius corrects him, no, we will destroy them, saying it's going to be Kemp with the Creeds. We roll with people we trust. And that's when Briggs and Jensen come in and say, hey, we know you've got the 6-man next week, but save some of Gallus for us because we're going to get our rematch with them. And Roddy just like, nah, we're going to destroy them. Calls them dorks. And Briggs says, look, Diamond Mine aren't even the best champions in NXT. Julius tells Roddy that his voice doesn't mean what it used to, and just kind of pushes him right to the back here. And they accept their challenge.
Yeah, so there's like 6 men.
So I think we've got like 3 matches set up here. I think we've got the 6-man next week. I think we've got a rematch between Gallus and Briggs and Jensen at some point, and maybe Creeds versus Briggs and Jensen at some point as well.
Yeah, this makes me lead to believe it'll be a 4-way match at the actual premium live event. But it is a little weird because you would just do the title match next week. I don't know, but regardless, I think the path is the 4-way.
The 6-man could be fun next week.
Yeah.
We go to our main event of the evening. It's a lights out match for the first time ever in NXT. Wendy Chu versus Tiffany Stratton. This is the lights are dimmed. It's kind of Sin
the lights
Cara
are actually outmatched. This is very Sin Cara. Like the lights are like
blue lighting,
and dark. Again, it's like nighttime lights here.
Wasn't bad. Like compared to say the Fiend. When it was awful.
That was the worst.
This wasn't hard to watch. It just made it look a little different. No disqualification, no countouts, all of that.
So Tiffany comes out. She's got a tennis racket. Her dad's tennis racket, not Jim Cornette, but you know he if he was watching, he'd like that. And then she's got a fuzzy purse, like a fuzzy, legally blonde, pink purse that I instantly went, something's in that purse.
And Wendy Chu comes out in a taco onesie.
In a bed.
Her
entrance as she wakes up.
But this time, we've been looking for an evolution of character.
Yeah.
Well, she takes off the taco onesie to reveal a cookie singlet kind of. Yeah, cookies all over it.
Cookie monster.
They announced that Survivor Series is going to be in Boston this November. So finally getting their make good on that SummerSlam that never happened.
They just casually say that?
Yeah. I don't know if they announced this on Raw last night, but
weird.
I felt like this was the announcement here.
Okay.
The lights are out, so we've got the dim lighting, and right away they're going at it. There's a trash can put on Stratton's head as Chu starts hitting it with the tennis racket. Stratton then goes and gets a toolbox where she gets a wrench and goes to smash Wendy in the head with it.
Jeez.
But luckily Wendy ducks out the way. Stratton then hits, Chu hits the beautiful over the head belly to belly throw. She does have a nice suplex
Very
here.
nice, yeah.
And then Stratton goes up top and goes for a moonsault. Very Kurt Angle-esque with the height here. And also Kurt Angle-esque, she misses it. There's then a suplex onto the steel chair. Chu, having clearly watched Raw from last night, gets the wrench, puts it across Tiffany's face for a crossface.
Yeah, just
for
like
Edge. And then Chu brings in a pillow, smashes Tiffany with it, and Tiffany seems to fall down from this. So we assume that the pillow is loaded. She opens up this pillow and pulls Lego.
What?
So all this inspiration from all these different matches that happened in the last week or so.
Yeah, Lego.
Joey Janela had a Lego match, didn't he?
He just recently did.
DDT. And then there's a fall-away slam from Stratton on Chu, but unfortunately completely misses all the Lego.
You see the ref tell her, do it again.
Yeah. What I found funny here is, you see with a thumbtack spot, they then roll in it to try and get as many in them for the visual. Thing is, Lego doesn't stick in you. Yeah. So you see Chu do it where she's then rolling in it and
that's why it's funny.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But Tiffany picks her back up and hits a scoop slam, this time completely on the Lego.
Ouchie. Have you ever stepped on a Lego?
Oh, yeah.
It hurts.
Sucks.
Imagine anywhere else, that would be painful.
And then in what I thought was the most impressive move of the match, Tiffany hits a double stomp, almost like the cave-in, onto the Lego.
Oof.
1, 2, but Chu kicks out. And then Stratton goes to her purse, pulls out a little baggie of white powder, and goes to throw it in the face of Wendy Chu. But Wendy blocks it and smashes it into Tiffany's face.
Damn.
And then puts her to bed by slamming her through the bed. And then Wendy hits an inverted top rope splash to pick up the win.
As this feud is finally
over. I'm surprised Chu won it, actually. I thought they would have been going with Tiffany.
I think Tiffany's going to the main roster. I don't know.
But I thought this was fun. There was some kind of awkward moments in it, but I thought I still enjoyed their kind of brawl pre-match the other week, maybe more. But I thought there was some fun stuff in this, and the crowd were actually really hyped for this as well.
Yeah, there was a few different moments. There was also a pink steel chair they were using.
That's right.
Tiffany had a pink steel chair, of course, so I like that. There's a brainbuster spot. There was a lot of fun stuff. There was Tiffany is good at using other things. We've mentioned throughout since being in NXT, since being on TV. She's creative and stuff. So using hairspray and makeup as the powder and stuff is creative to bring that in. The tennis racket's a nice little touch as well. Things like that. Okay, I see there. There's some creative flows. I thought, like you kind of said, there was some messy stuff. They're throwing wrenches around and stuff like that. But then when it kind of got going after the break, it kind of picked up, and I think the crowd really woke up when the pillow was loaded, but then you're okay, well, if it's a piece of metal, why would you just put a piece of metal in the pillow? So when the reveal of the Lego, it woke me up. It woke us up watching on TV, but the crowd were oh.
Well, that's something as well that has been kind of a popular indie spot in the last couple of years, but we've never seen it in WWE.
Yeah, WWE doesn't do it.
It was quite, and especially when you've got a no blood policy, your lights out matches, your street fights aren't gonna quite hit as hard as they do outside of the company. I thought the Lego thing was actually a good spot. We all know what it feels like to tread on Lego.
It's also funny.
We know it hurts.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It fitted the match. I know she lost the match, but Stratton, her calling card should be street fights and stuff, because it's so against her character. And as we said earlier, being the daddy's little rich girl, but then it's time to fight, and she does the braids and comes out with her tennis racket and is ready to fuck up
she
people.
Could have multiple
I think it
could
works
evolve
for her.
even more from
I think
that,
it really does. So I kind of like to see her do this more. But yeah, this wasn't a blow-away match, but I had fun with it.
Yeah, I can say the same thing. It was rough to begin with, but then it kind of picked up, and the whole time I was pretty entertained, so I will give them that. But I like both of these two. Wendy Chu is in this weird position where we keep saying, where does the character go? And the character got a singlet, so that's a good first step. She's not just wearing onesies, but we'll see, because I do think she has great wrestling whenever she has matches. And Tiffany is just someone who also is just super well-rounded in anything, and now street fights and Legos and stuff like that. I hope Wei Ting was watching somewhere, because he loves Lego.
Yeah.
Shout out Wei Ting. But I'm happy that they weren't Mega Blocks in this match. The shitty Lego.
The big ones, yeah.
Yeah. Grayson Waller probably played with Mega Blocks as a kid.
What was the other one? You had Meccano. Did you ever have that?
What the fuck is that?
Meccano. That's
Is
where
that someone who was released from NXT
no,
UK?
yeah, no, yeah. Meccano was kind of cool. Could build cars and things with it.
What's the Lego like? Bionicle?
Bionicle what?
I don't know.
We end the show with a contract signing. Just backstage, we see the 3 women signing the contract for that the women's unification match, and we see Bron Breakker and Tyler Bate sign the contract for their match as well.
So it's official.
It's official. Yeah, I kind of like this to go off the air, making
why
it
not?
official. This was an alright show. I mean, I guess somewhat newsworthy, but I thought the wrestling was all below par tonight for me.
Yeah, none of the wrestling really hit. It was just a lot of like, hey, we're moving into this next show and we're going to help promote that and kind of make you understand what's going on. So
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily hate this episode, but I would have preferred like 1 or 2 matches to kind of hit, and it didn't really.
I think over the last couple of months now, we've had at least one like match where we've gone, oh, that was pretty good. Normally with like a Carmelo Hayes or a Giovanni Vinci or someone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no Hayes.
No
this
Hayes.
week.
Yeah, Hayes needs to find an opponent for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true.
JD McDonough, or I don't know who else. Like,
Is there a secondary type?
there isn't.
Oh, it's the
Rounds
Heritage Cup one.
A-Kid, Axiom.
Isn't it Noam Dar right now or something?
is he
I
still
don't know. Noam Dar's still there.
Hey, that would be an okay match, but
Yeah.
there you could just book Carmelo in a feud with. He's got a lot going on. Solo Sikoa is injured, so you can't go back to that one. He had a few. He's got a few.
Yeah.
The Wesley thing seems to just be gone. So really, I don't know who his. You could do Apollo.
Yeah, you'd have thought.
Yeah.
You'd have thought Wes would have been going for that. Like he beat Trick, so he's now. Oh, now I'll just hang out with Caden and
I'll just
Katana.
hang out with actual champions. That's weird.
Yeah, he did do the. I guess he's already had the match with Vinci as well, hasn't he? Yeah, I don't know where you go with that.
Yeah.
Well,
That was NXT. I mean, yeah, mixed kind of bag, but hey, they're actually doing a special, like a premium live event thing. So I like that we're headed towards something big. So yeah, good direction, but not the most exciting show, to be honest. But hey, we got Lego bricks.
we did. Well, that's what we thought. Let's go to see what you guys thought. We do put up a feedback thread every Tuesday on the upNXT Facebook group. If you haven't joined it yet, why not? Maybe because you don't have Facebook. We're sorry. But if you do, join it.
If you like getting your data stolen from Mark Zuckerberg, you can follow us at upNXT Group,
Yes.
upNXT Group. We'll let you in.
And, well, do you want to start things off?
Yeah, we'll start off with Fire Frank, who writes in. He says, Chris Leone told me in confidence that beating Miko would definitely add credibility to Mandy's title reign.
Wow.
Okay. He also says, Index forever and shout out pink chairs and Lego. Hanga for life.
Oh, another supporter of Hanger right there.
Hanga, yeah, Hanga's getting over.
We go to Surin. We haven't heard from Surin for a while.
He was in the chat earlier.
Nice.
I think I made him pop with a joke earlier.
He knows Halloween. They know Halloween's round the corner.
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's, Surin. We never sent Surin that hoodie. Surin, we owe you a hoodie. Did you get that hoodie?
Just remind you've got to keep on at us.
I'm pretty sure we went to order it.
Isn't it 2 years in a row where
Oh,
we owe
man.
them a hoodie?
Wow, that just hit me. I'm so fucking sorry. Wow, we're gonna have to chat. Surin always comes in the costumes every year, but yeah, we haven't heard from Surin. Go for it.
So, listening to Wei Ting has taught me that the plural of Lego is Lego. So, big L to commentary tonight, calling them Legos. Yeah, Legos just sounds wrong. I never miss an upNXT, but I rarely watch NXT. This was a fun show to catch. Seeing the reunion of Indexed was by far the highlight. My biggest question is, can other people see Apollo's visions? How did Grace and Waller know about them? Are Apollo's visions canonically broadcast on TV, or does Grayson have the power to read minds? Yeah, that's what I...
That was him being cheeky, like breaking the fourth wall a little bit, but yeah, that is pretty true.
It's like when Imperium used to talk and they'd have live subtitles
weird.
for their live promos coming up.
Very odd. Wow. We then go to Sean, who says, a lot set up this episode with Worlds Collide. It's looking pretty promising. Apollo sounded pretty good on the mic, while Grayson sounded pretty much the same as always. Tyler Bate is very, very good, but from wrestling perspective, the lights out match was the best part of the show. Just really enjoyable. Wendy and Tiff worked their asses off. The rate at which Tiffany Stratton has developed is really impressive. And Wendy finally found a way to present her gimmick in a much more serious manner. I just loved the whole match. I mean, there were Legos. And Lego.
Lego.
And someone got put through a bed. Tremendous stuff. Anyways, pour one out for all of the Legado del Fantasma as they take their bingo to the main roster. Long live Index and welcome back Johnny Wrestling.
Yeah. And Sean's someone who's been pretty down on the shows recently, even the ones we've been kind of higher on.
Yeah.
So interesting seeing he enjoyed this week. And finally, we go to Nas, not the rapper from NYC. Again, haven't heard from Nas for a while.
Hey,
Hello.
Nas, how's it going?
Nice to hear from you. First time I watched NXT in over 2 years. Only tuned in because I was still hyped from last night's Raw. So apologies in advance as some of these feedback may seem off to someone who watches every week. The opening tag match did not make sense at all. Surely that's a DQ. Why was the referee counting? So many backstage segments, so many interviews, so many brawls. The segments move so fast, it's hard to keep up. As I'm typing this, I forgot about most of them because there were so many to remember. Only the security guy really stood out. His facial expressions are great, by the way. Hank fan, yeah. Cameron Grimes is surely wasted here. I'd move him up right away. Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett need to replace Jimmy Smith and Byron Saxton on Raw. No offense to Byron. The best thing on the show for me was Grayson Waller. The whole Instagram Live and the second cam, I loved it. This is how you know I'm a main roster guy. He 100% got better of the verbal battle against Apollo. He should move up and partner with The Miz. The main event was good. Both women put a lot of effort in and took some crazy bumps. First time watching Tiffany Stratton. She's really good. I'd move her up to SmackDown. She's definitely better prepared than Aaliyah. P.S. Thanks to the Instagram stories on Monday. Braden's picture that John took is absolutely priceless.
Yes, if you haven't, again, follow all the socials and Post Wrestling on Instagram. I posted it up there.
You saved the story, so you can watch it there.
Yeah.
It's my favorite is the holy shit chant with John.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You had to follow the stories to get the full extended cut because I didn't upload all of them.
I never knew John Pollock liked to wear sunglasses inside, and at night.
Yeah, he wears them both.
You learn something new.
Every day. That party animal. Guys, thank you so much for listening and supporting us here. We could not do this without you. We will be back for BD Elite tomorrow night. It'll be on this feed as well. Listen to Shot in the Dark in 15 minutes or less. You can find out what's going on all the other wrestling shows with John Cena on this feed. But you want to hear more? Patreon.com/upNXT. We are content creators and we're proudly supported by our patrons. And you can check out all the great podcasts that we have up there. There's hundreds, meaning pennies per podcast. All retro pay-per-view reviews, all retro wrestling, best match ever, Rey Mysterio coming out, movie reviews, everything is on there. Go give us a shot if you haven't already because you will absolutely love it. And that's it. That's all. Take off that Sunday for All Out because we're going to be doing Worlds Collide and All Out. The 4 pillars of Post. Cannot freaking wait. But thank you. We love you. I myself, Braden Herrington. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I'm at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And long live Index.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.